Hi, today we're reviewing Medicine at Midnight by the Foo Fighters.
Hey, it's a record!
So, Medicine at Midnight by the Foo Fighters was released on the 5th of February 2021. The album has 9 songs and it is the ideal length of 36 minutes. And this is the Foo Fighters' 10th studio album. And the kind of main fun elements of the album is that there's a lot of choir, the use of the cowbell, a lot of funk, and a kind of a new sense of orchestration that they really haven't used before. So let's go and just talk about the songs.
Yeah. Making a Fire. This song particularly reminded me quite a lot for the Soundgarden Super Unknown era type of rock song, but also in a way it was pretty Aerosmith influenced in a way. And in the middle of the song there's this pretty cool bass funk riff, which kind of like reminded me of Lenny Kravitz's song Fly Away, in a way. I don't know what you guys think, but in a way that was a really cool element in the middle of the song.
I really like the song, and I think I heard some of the same elements as you did, and I really like the choir. I think it's an element that is present in most songs on this album, and I think it's a really cool element, and I think it's fun how they've used the female voices in particular. In this
All
album.
in all, they contributed all different these different musical elements, and they made it work really nice.
Yeah, nicely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we like that.
Yeah.
So Shame Shame is the first single of this album, and obviously we had heard it before and seen the music video, and I think the best thing about this song is obviously it's a very fresh sound for Foo Fighters in general, and I love the bass line. I think it's just very funky and cool, and I
like
really enjoyed
driven.
it. Yeah. And obviously there's just the Let's Dance by David Bowie, obviously the whole vibe, which we've then obviously read afterwards that it has been kind of an album that they have been inspired by in this,
in the
general,
80s
and
style of vibe.
Yeah, and especially in this song, I think that is very evident, and you can really hear it well.
Yeah. Well, what I thought when I first heard it, I thought pretty much like the Motown, Stevie Wonder kind of like feel to it, so it was pretty cool. Yeah. Cloud Spotter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Are you on the Cloud Potter? Okay.
What I thought about this song, it kind of like reminded me a lot of the Aerosmith stuff, and also it was quite surprisingly to me about the aspect of the Eagles of the death metal, and pretty much also a bit of the Rolling Stones kind of feel to it.
I think so too. Yeah. And what I really loved, I know Arto here is not as much of a fan of a cowbell as I am, but I think the cowbell in the beginning of the song was just, I don't know, I really thought it was very well. It wasn't annoying at all. I just think it was a very cool element in the song, so I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Small things, but they make a difference.
Yeah.
The fourth song on the album is Waiting on a War, which I think was the third single of the album. And the song really grew on me. When it first came out, I was like, okay, yeah. But it has really grown on me, and it's one of my favorites at the moment. I think you had a very good thing you said about that album, so I'm gonna let you say that.
It reminded me of a bit of The Who like early 70s The Who, and Tom Petty as well. In a way, if I could put it in a nutshell, I would say it like almost feels like British rock, like classic British rock, meets with the more modern sounding American rock. So
Yeah, I think that's a very
it was pretty
good way
nice
to put
combination. Yeah.
The only thing we were talking about as well, that the actual like song bit of how Dave sings it and maybe the lyrics a bit, there's a kind of like slight that we got kind of reminded by Nickelback.
Yeah,
in a
that's
sense.
a good. Yeah, that's a
Too, which
important mention as well.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's a good thing, but
Good or bad, but
I do like
in
the
a
song.
way, yeah.
And I think it's a very nice one.
Medicine at Midnight. This is a really interesting song because to me it reminded a lot of the early 80s David Bowie, kind of like especially the Scary Monsters and the Super Creeps era, and as well as the Arctic Monkeys, especially in the AM record.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
That sort of.
And
yeah.
Yeah. I like what I really enjoyed in this song is just the funk. I think it was just immediate from the beginning, just the amount of funk in the song is just very, I don't know, it was uplifting and very interesting. Very much 80s, I think. And then again, when we come to the whole choir thing and the harmonies, I love the harmonies at the end of the song. I think they were beautiful.
Yeah.
And very, very fun. The next song is No Son of Mine, which was the second single of the album, if I remember correctly. What I really loved actually about the singles as well, that they were all so different. So when you heard Shame, Shame, you were like, okay, what's going on? What's this album gonna be like? And then you heard No Son of Mine and then Waiting on a War. So you really got the range of the album already in the singles, which I think was very nice. In the beginning, I don't know why, I can't really pinpoint which song or anything, but I got a Black Sabbath vibe in the beginning of the song for some reason. And then in the drums, we were talking about that it was kind of like the Queen's Stone Cold Crazy situation.
The whole song in a way reminded me of the Queen Stone Cold Crazy song, and particularly the drum part, which goes with the toms. It's really interesting, and it gives to the song this really spacey feel to it, almost. Yeah.
And then again, it's very logical, obviously, knowing that Taylor Hawkins is very influenced by Roger Taylor, so yeah, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts on the songs?
This reminded me a bit of also, especially on the intro riff, there is this quite a strong feel to the heart, especially their song Barracuda. And in a way, as a whole, this reminded me of bands like Deep Purple, Nazareth, and in a way the Whitesnake, and the singing style which Dave tried to implicate, I guess, reminded me of a bit of David Coverdale. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Holding Poison. This is a really, I could say, multi-dimensional song in a way, because it covers so much ground. In a way, it reminded me of the new wave, modern rock mixture with the whole Gary Newman thing in the beginning, and the Cars, and then there's and at the same time there's this really old school Foo Fighters vibe to it, and also a bit of that Queens of the Stone Age. But what really struck me in this song, in the chorus section, was the strong influence on the band 11. And well, it's no surprise because Dave is a friend. Dave knew Alan and Natasha really well, so in a way it's logical to think that they have got so many of these
Like that he's been influenced by them,
influences. And what was also really nice in the end was this Camel inspired, Andy Latimer inspired guitar solo, which was like really cool thing.
Yeah, I think this is my favorite song at the moment from the album, like right now. And during the whole song, I just also remember just sitting there, like, I don't know what this reminds me of. Like, this is so I don't know. In one way, it's new, but at the same time, it sounds like something. And then when we started talking about it, it was like, oh yeah, this is just like old Foo Fighter stuff, a bit like the color and the shape and so on. But then, especially when he mentioned 11, I was like, oh my god, yeah, right, that's exactly, because I was a bit like thinking about Queens of the Stone Age, but I couldn't really pinpoint. And then when he said 11, I was like, yeah, that's like the harmonies is completely like 11.
If you are a fan of 11, you know what we're talking about right now. Yeah,
probably.
Probably, but if you haven't heard of them ever, go and check them out.
Totally. The 8th song on the album is Chasing Birds, which I also love. And for me, like from the very beginning, it was like Paul McCartney all the way. Like I could just kind of imagine how he would arrange the song, I suppose, and how he would sing it. I find it to be very like Paul McCartney inspired, a bit the Beatles maybe as well, but mostly like maybe early Paul McCartney stuff. Very much so. Yeah,
and in a way, to me also, I heard so much of the Fleetwood Mac. I'm not sure if you pronounce it that way, but Fleetwood Mac. Anyways.
No idea.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think maybe in the the guitar sound, I don't know, I felt like a bit of a Coldplay vibe to it as well. And then again, the choir was very nice here as well.
The last song on the album, kind of like, in a way, left me a bit cold. It was, in my opinion, a bit mediocre. It was something, maybe you could say, modern rock, but to me it didn't appeal that much any feelings, to be honest.
I think, we were talking about that it's a bit like Walk, but maybe not as good. But I think...
It's like a cheap version of their song Walk.
I don't know, maybe it sounds negative, but I don't know. I think it's a song that might be very good live, but I think on the album it just felt like, I don't know, just a very, easy rock song, I think. So it wasn't like, it was just a song that, I don't know, I wasn't that, it wasn't just a favorite, I suppose. In general, what did you think about the album as a whole?
It was quite interesting, a way of getting to, or exploring new grounds, new musical grounds, which is always a good sign. The importance about the bands that are mainstream, that they don't make records that sound like exactly what they did like for past 20 or 30 years is really important to me, because that's what, to me at least, the music is and the creation is all about. That you're trying to always experience on new musical grounds and
renew yourself, maybe try something new, because even though like I love old Foo Fighter stuff, and I oh my god, I'm so bad at names. What's my favorite album?
Wasting Light.
Wasting Light is my favorite album. And but I still don't want them to make a new Wasting Light, because that would be boring. So I think this was very interesting, and I think I do really like it, and I think it's an album that will kind of grow as you just listen to it more. So even on the first listen, I think there was some very interesting elements to it, and it'll be nice to maybe hear them live at some point and stuff.
Yeah.
So how many of 5 records, how many records are you giving this album?
2.5.
You're a tough critic.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Wasting Life, Wasting Light is a full 5, like 5.5 of 5. So this is probably a 3.
Yeah.
So together we're giving 3 records.
Yeah.
Out of 5. So if you haven't heard the record yet, go and listen to it. Bye.
Make sure to make sure to subscribe if you like what we're doing and what kind of content we're creating.
And tell us what you think about the album.
Yeah, of course.
We'd like to discuss
That's
it with
the
you.
most important, that you give your input, whether you liked it or not, what was the best song.
Do you agree with us or
etc.
disagree?
Yeah.
Let's discuss. Right. Bye.
Bye.